All righty, Jamelia. Well, it has been great chatting with you off screen. We briefly spoke about the role that you're interested in. Jamelia, I would love for you to kickstart this interview and tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Okay, so with my professional experience, I initially, after graduating high school, I wanted to go into the education field. I decided to teach. That back then I decided to teach. I did teach school. I had first grade and I had fifth grade. After which I decided to go into a more uh, like corporate, but still working with children. I worked for the Boys and Girls Club where I was an SES coordinator. So I did all of the ordering and the marketing for Boys and Girls Club, the SES program, as well as I was hiring the teachers who had to tutor the students. So
Oh,
once I did that, I moved on to back into education, but then wanted to go into the corporate world. So I have a little experience with corporate, um, with bookkeeping and accounting, things like that. But then ending my career back into education, where I was an administrative secretary, executive secretary. So I did a little bit of, I cross trained. So I was bookkeeper, FTE. I did a little bit of everything. So when it comes to purchase orders and ordering things, I know how to do all of that. I know how to answer phones, filing, data entry, all of that. I'm experienced in. And then currently, I work with as a funeral attendant. And that is a part-time on-call kind of weekend position. Just I've learned patience, empathy, just working with families, creating that last final moment into transition for their loved ones. So that's my career in a nutshell.
that's amazing. You've been able to touch base in many industries. I was looking at your resume actually, and I saw the most recent role, which is the one that you just spoke about, the funeral attendant, which is a role that perhaps not many people like to go into, but it's amazing that you do that role. You connect with the families and whatnot. But you mentioned that it's on call, perhaps weekends as well. If my client is looking to have you work on a weekend, would you be available for that?
Yes, because it's on call, so it's when you
Okay.
are available. And just because they have a service doesn't mean you actually have to work the service. So they give you the opportunity to say, "Hey, I'm available," or "No, I'm not available to work that service."
Beautiful. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Now you worked, but it's basically a customer service role, right? Because you're telling to the families, you're coordinating all of that. So tell me a little bit about your administrative skill set. I know that you briefly touched base as far as you've done some clerical duties. You had, was it a certification in Excel? Was it as well, or you taking
Yes,
a class?
yes. I'm the certification. I haven't. It's not a recent certification, but I was certified in it, and I don't think you ever really lose your certification. I think the skills change a little bit,
Yes, yes.
but I do have a certification. But as far as the administrative role, um, I would touch on Markham Woods Middle School, where I was cross trained in every position. So I started off as the front desk receptionist or secretary, where I was checking in students, greeting parents, greeting any vendors that may have come in. Where then I was able to cross train in FTE, which is enrolling students. So you're enrolling all of the students that are going to attend the school. And then the bookkeeping position. So I was ordering, making sure that purchase orders were done, making sure that the money was good. When teachers or would come in, or parent PTA, whatever it was that was coming in, I would be in charge of that. And I just wanted to be cross trained in a little bit of everything, because at that time we were transitioning with our principal. So I wanted to help everyone out because it got kind of crazy, and I was like, okay, well, let me know what you all need help with. And
Yes.
so I was doing lunch duty. I was kind of everywhere doing security. I was kind of everywhere, but I enjoyed it because it gave me the experience on the admin side, the receptionist side, the bookkeeping side, and just working with people on different levels at different times of the day.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. You sound like someone who really loves collaboration with a team. You work well in a team. You're there to support them throughout it all. And it sounds like you're very busy throughout your day. So
Yeah.
I would love to know, you're a woman who loves to wear many hats. How are you able to keep yourself organized throughout the workday?
So I create a checklist. So my day starts off, whether it starts at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., I have stickies. So if anyone ever walked into my computer, I have stickies everywhere, or I have some type of list that says, okay, this is what I'm going to start doing. And I try to go and do like a checklist of what I have to get done. Do I normally get done? Yes, but sometimes one project may take a little longer than the other. So I put that on the schedule for the next day. And so that's kind of how I stay organized, and I kind of prioritize what's more important. Not that anything is not important, but what takes precedence or over something else. So I will snatch the stickies down. They're like, what are all their stickies? Well, they're because I'm trying to finish everything I need to finish. My day would mainly start with substitutes. That was my priority, making sure that the classrooms were
Yes.
covered. And then I would move on. I worked on the newsletter while all greeting parents, greeting vendors, checking
Mhm.
students in and out. So it made for a busy day, but when you have a busy day, it makes the time go by a little faster.
Yeah,
So
I
it
agree.
yeah, and it was fun just, mingling and talking to different people as well.
That's right. That's right. It sounds like you're very much of a people person, and the customer service that you provide, from what I've seen already, is it's definitely something that you can't compare to all people. So that's amazing in itself, Jamelia. Now, I want to know, if my client would like to interview you, do you have immediate availability, or what does your availability look like?
My availability at this time is very flexible. Just like when you called today, I was like, yeah, jump right on. I try to be flexible as much as possible with anything, because you never know when that next opportunity is going to come to you. So I try to, make myself available
That's right. And when are you able to start a new role?
immediately.
Okay,
So,
that's yeah, tomorrow. Well, this has been so much fun, Jamili. I really enjoyed my conversation with you this afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here, but don't hang up on me. I want to continue chatting with you really briefly.
okay, no worries.
Thank you for your time.